our intrepid correspondent, chief Washington correspondent. Jolly.
What's up, Don? No, you're right. It's all lies. And I just finished, before I come on with you, watching a string of clips from when the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago. And let me quote current assistant FBI director, deputy director, Dan Bongino. This is some third world bullshit, he said. Let me quote Kash Patel. This is third world activities. They all said it. And then Fox News was screaming to the high heavens. This is weaponization of the Justice Department. If there's one thing that has been true about MAGA from day one and will be true forever, every single accusation is a confession. It's projection. They think about it because they plan to do it. Listen, first of all, I want to be clear. I don't feel bad for John Bolton, dude. Pick a fucking a saying: sleep with dogs, you get fleas. Never thought the leopards would eat my face. Whatever. But this is the weaponization of the Justice Department. Donald Trump is attacking his list of political opponents, and of course, John Bolton is very high on that list.
Yeah, look. Yes. I agree with everything you said. John Bolton's, John Bolton's a war hawk. John Bolton was a Donald Trump supporter before. John Bolton is, I don't agree with him a lot politically, but his criticism of this administration, I mean, you have to say he's right on. And he's all about retribution. He said that that everything is personal for Donald Trump. But I think it's rich, Jolly, that Donald Trump was accused and found guilty of these very same crimes. And now he is sicking his FBI and Justice Department on someone else because I guess he feels that he can. And just remember, if you think that, that they were weaponizing the Justice Department, because the same Justice Department found that Joe Biden had classified documents, right?
Right.
But guess what? Joe Biden, he did what?
He cooperated. And he was cleared through cooperation, right? So like the difference between me and a lot of the, online commenters is when the report was released about Joe Biden and the classified documents, I read almost 100% of it. It's a very long document. I think it was like 90 some pages or something. I don't remember, but it was long, but I read it as a former Intel guy. So one thing I want everyone to understand is I spent 13 years with the top secret clearance. I understand how, classified documents work. I understand that. So I read the report on Joe Biden. He was cleared for a good reason, and he cooperated. I also read the report on Donald Trump. It's completely different. First of all, he ignored multiple subpoenas by the FBI. He lied to the FBI. His lawyers drafted letters saying to the FBI, we've turned in all the documents. And then when the raid finally happened in August of 22, guess what? They found 700 some odd documents in his fucking bathroom. That means you lied, bro. Like, here's the difference between screaming this is a witch hunt and it actually being a witch hunt. If you scream it's a witch hunt, then I show up and leave empty-handed, like what seemingly happened at John Bolton's house. It's a witch hunt. But if I show up and I leave with box after box after box of it.
Oh, you're muted, Jolly.
Jolly.
But if I show up and leave with box after,
you muted yourself.
Am I unmuted now?
You're good.
Okay. But that's not a witch hunt. Okay. If I say, Don, you have, bourbon in your house, and then I raid your house and I find a liquor cabinet full of bourbon, bro, that's not a witch hunt. I was right. If I leave empty-handed, I was wrong. Like, they've gaslit us so much that I think we feel stupid sometimes. Is this real life? It's almost like a bunch of like middle schoolers are in charge and they're using classic middle school defense to try to like get us to look the other way. This is a distraction to the Epstein files. This is weaponization of the Justice Department. And this is complete banana government.
Can you say that again? Because this is, I want people to know, we have not forgotten our mission, which is Epstein. This is a distraction to the Epstein files, but it is the most horrific and petty and dangerous type of distraction. You want to ruin someone's lives. You want to entangle them You want to put them in a legal entanglement with the government. And by the way, Jolly, I don't know what your sources are telling you, but my legal sources and justice sources tell me when you get into something like this with the government, it's usually game over.
Yeah, the federal government has a 98% conviction rate. But let's also say this.
They said that about, remember what they said about Southern District?
Bingo, right. That's what I was about to say. Right? Because what we're witnessing is the complete disassembling of a functioning government. So, I mean, I 100% believe they're going to try to drum some charges up on John Bolton. They're currently, as we speak in real time, still trying to drum charges up on former President Obama about the quote unquote Russia hoax, right? Like, it's everything but Epstein, and it's targeting political opponents. He's already said he's not going to honor. This is what's terrifying. He's not going to honor the pardons that Joe Biden gave because of the auto pin, right? This guy is rewriting what a functioning government looks like. And we are currently we're in authoritarian light, very quickly approaching authoritarian real time. I don't know the word there, but this is some terrifying stuff. This is like you said, a gangster government. This is a guy, by the way, who built his, sorry to keep talking, but this is a guy, by the way, who built his real estate career by working with the mob. So it's no surprise he's using mob tactics.
Mm-hmm. I want to play this from JVL over at the Bulwark. He says that this is right now a gangster government. I'm sure you'll agree, but let's listen to JVL.
It's just the world we live in. It's gangster government now, and it's really something, because as Ben noted, John Bolton is not a gangster. If the government wanted to search his house, they could have done this cooperatively, right? They in the same way that this often happens with high-profile cases and people who are former government employees, who are not flight risks and who are trustworthy. You work through their lawyer. You arrange a time for your agents to come over and execute the search warrant. Closing off the street and hitting his house at 7 a.m., that's just intimidation. Yeah. And it's really striking.
Jolly?
100%. That's what's happening right now with everything. Intimidation. Pete Kegsbreath just announced today that they're going to arm the troops in D.C. now. Think about this. You got armed troops walking around D.C. We got MRAPs. I was there last night. There's police everywhere. They're flooding the street. Okay. We got the FBI raiding John Bolton's house at 7 a.m. for nothing more than the optics of showing everybody this is what happens when you go against Trump. Intimidation, because let's be abundantly clear, this man has no intention of ever ceding power. Ever.
What do you think? Look, I know you're not a legal person. And by the way, it looks like the FBI pretty much, if you look at some of the feeds here, pretty much has left. Well, there are other folks driving up. There are other folks driving up to the home. John Bolton doesn't strike me as the type who would steal documents. Look, you never know, but the guy seems pretty, by the book, clean. You know what I'm saying? And so this is, again, I believe, all a distraction. And also, it's like the thing with Obama. Nothing has come out of this Obama thing. Remember, it's like, oh, Obama, is he going to be indicted? Nothing has come out. It was just, they just want to put it out there to tarnish someone, to sully them. And this is the grossest kind of thing that you can do to someone. I'm telling you, the karma on these people, it's bad, but they don't really care about the outcome. They just care that this is a distraction, and it makes someone, one of their political enemies, look bad. And also, it puts them in danger and in jeopardy, and it hurts them professionally and financially.
Financially, big time. Listen, they're throwing things against the wall to see what sticks. Can we get something to stick on Obama? Maybe. Can we get something to stick on Bolton? Because I agree with you, Don. This is 100% to smear people's names. But make no never mind about it. If they can get any of this shit to stick and actually prosecute somebody, they're going to do it. if they can circumvent federal judges who are, blocking the shit they're doing, rightfully so, if they can circumvent the letter of the law in such a way, if they can find a way to put President Obama on trial, they're going to do it. If they can find a way to put John Bolton on trial, they're going to do it, because as we said, intimidation is the tactic, and the best intimidation you can get is to go from smear campaign to conviction. If they can do that, they're going to do it. This is completely a non-functioning government.
You're the right word was what you said that you didn't mean to say.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's a non-functioning government.
Yeah, that's
it's like watching. It's like, because I have 5 kids, and
take it easy there, buddy.
We just figured out what caused it, so we changed our water. But
okay, Lord, we're off the rails here. You're muted, Jolly. You're muted.
I don't know how that happens. I don't know how that keeps happening.
I figured out it happens to me. Do you have a cable? There could be. I had an issue with my cable. Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, I had to put one in that's compatible. Sometimes they go bad.
Cable. But sometimes my younger kids, they're asking questions about the world, and they have like wild ideas. Hey, Dad, why can't we do XYZ? And it's just the craziest thing. But they're kids, so you talk them through it. Here, baby, this is why we can't do this and that. But the problem is, in this case, it's a 79-year-old man in charge of the government, and every time he has a wild cockamamie idea, they're like, fuck it, let's do it. Like, this is embarrassing. The guy was standing in a park yesterday, reminded me of that scene from that movie where Snoop Dogg was the caddy. Have you seen that movie? Snoop Dogg, he's like, oh, I want a pitching wedge, but Snoop gives him a 3-wood, and he's like, oh, you know a lot about golf. And Snoop's like, no, I know a lot about grass. And like, but it reminded me, like, this can't be real life. Like Saturday Night Live could never. This guy, the president of the United States, is standing in a park talking about, I know all this about grass. We're going to fix the grass. Grass has a life. Like, it's unhinged shit. And we just let him keep going.
Not so long ago, he was on. God, this was 10 days ago. He was on ABC, and Jonathan Karl asked him about retribution if he was afraid. Here it is.
So before you go, we're about to talk about Trump's retribution campaign we're seeing at the FBI and the Justice Department. You're obviously on his enemies list, at least Kash Patel's enemies list. Are you worried that they're going to come after you in some way? I mean, he's hinted at it before.
Well, I think he's already come after me and several others in withdrawing the protection that we had from the Iranians for the attack on Qasem Soleimani. So I think, and I said in the new forward to the paperback edition of my book, I think it is a retribution presidency.
Yeah.
Bingo. I mean, it is, and he told us it was going to happen.
Don.
Oh, Don was muted. Sorry.
No, go on.
No, he told us it was going to happen. Like Donald Trump even said, leading up to, prior to becoming the Republican nominee in 2024, he made it clear he's going to go after these people. See, the difference is when Donald Trump was saying things in 2022 and 2023 and 2024, I was believing him. He said in 2022, I'm going to round up the unhoused and put them in camps. Now he's doing it. He said he was going to require teachers to pass a patriotic exam to be a teacher. They're now currently working on implementing that. He said he was going to sue private universities and create an American university. That's currently in the works. He said he was going to come after all these people that, quote unquote, came after him. Now he's doing it. Listen, the only people that are surprised, and I don't mean this in an insulting way, are the people who weren't paying attention. But if you weren't paying attention now, or then, pay attention now. I promise you, everything I just said can be backed up with receipts, can be backed up with video, can be backed up with date timestamps of this guy saying he's going to do this. John Bolton, you know who another one? What's his name? He took away he's saying he's going to take away his pardon. Oh man, God damn it!
He's taking away his pardon. Comey?
Yeah, not Comey. Why can't I think of his name?
What did he do?
he was the main guy going after Trump. The
FBI guy. Oh,
why can't I think of his name? Anyway,
the guy with the glasses on CNN. Why can't I think of his name?
He needs to go like out of the country because that guy I think's in a lot of danger. I really feel like that. Jack Smith. I feel like Jack Smith is screwed, dude. And so like, and I really think that he's going to continue this thing with Obama. I don't think the Obama thing's dead. I think he's going to pursue it. And by the way, while we're talking about things Donald Trump said he's going to do and then ended up doing, he's going to run in 2028 too. I hope you guys are all prepared for this very real reality. Unless the Big Macs do us the solid, unless the Big Macs come in clutch in the 11th hour, this guy's running in fucking 2028.
Trump personally ordered a series of probes into his political enemies in his first term. I'm reading from the tweet from Matthew Gertz. They largely fizzled out as the GOP appointees who pursued them found there was nothing to them. The lesson he learned was to ensure that his second term appointees wouldn't stop. So he got people who would not say no to him.
Thank God people are listening now. I said this in 2022. I said what he's going to do his second term, he's going to surround himself with loyalists who won't tell him no. The difference between now and then was in his first term, number one, he never expected to win. Okay. Honestly, he never expected to win. And then number two, he had himself surrounded with people that would say to him, no, let's not do that. Go play golf and let the big boys run the government. But now he doesn't have that. Now he has loyalists around him who tell him, yeah, that's a great fucking idea. Whatever you say, our Lord and Orange Jesus.
It's really kind of frightening. I mean,
terrifying.
Don't you think?
Terrifying. It's terrifying because Don, look, what happens when he says, you know what? That guy Don Lemon's always talking bad about me. You know what happens? What happens is this fucking social media guy, Jolly, whatever. Let's raid his house next because that's coming, guys. That's coming. It all starts with this. It starts with the blatant and obvious political opponents until it's absolutely comes down. During the campaign, during an interview with Fox News, Donald Trump said, our biggest enemy is the enemy from within, the communist and the radical left. That's what he said. This is exact words, the communist and the radical left. So once he starts labeling us communist and radical left, it's a wrap.
But you know what, Jolly? I think this is, for me, the frustrating thing is that people are dialed out. If you ask the average person on the street, they'll be like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And they don't realize the danger of this. And I'm not sure how to get through to those people because, to them, everything is like, everybody does it. But this is not an everybody does it type situation. And
everybody doesn't do this, by the way. I mean,
everybody doesn't do it. But we're so used to the government working with people, even if they're corrupt, at least they acted within the bounds of some semblance of, that there was a constitution there, right? That there were some rules at least. This administration is not doing this. So I believe that JVL is right. This is gangster government. And go ahead.
It's called American exceptionalism. You understand that a major part of how, and this might sound preachy, but I'm sorry, it's true. A major part of how America, we colonized this country and genocided the indigenous people was through the concept of manifest destiny and American exceptionalism. We are entitled to this land. God gave it to us. And this is a perfect land. None of that bad stuff in the other countries happen here. It can happen everywhere except America. We believe that fascism can't happen in America. We believe that there can't be evil in America. We believe that the American government can't target its citizens. We believe that the American government cannot oppress and marginalize. Now, how do we listen to the Black indigenous community for the last fucking 200 years? We would know that this is true and it can happen and has been happening in America. But American exceptionalism under the blanket of white supremacy and white privilege has taught us that it can't happen in America while it's actively fucking happening in America.
I'm glad I write about manifest destiny in the book that I released last September.
Oh, nice.
And and how the evangelicals are such hypocrites when it comes to the religious right. Is such hypocrites when it comes to Donald Trump, and knowing the history of this country, they don't want books that teach Black history or real true American history in schools. That's why they're doing what Donald Trump wants to do in the Smithsonian.
And you know why, right?
The Manifest Destiny. It's like we are taking this land because God said this is our land, and so it's a way to change the laws to fit your narrative or to fit what you want it to be. That's what, and in this sense, it is white supremacy is what it is. That we can take this land because we're white men, and God said we can do it. It doesn't matter if the natives were here first. It doesn't matter that the Mexicans were here first. It doesn't matter that the border crossed the Mexicans and not the other way around. We don't even know. We don't even realize that the Mexicans were here first, and whole Western expansion before Western expansion, that was part of Mexico. Like, they don't get it. They're like, they're coming across the border. It's like, no, we pushed the border.
Right. Texas exists because of slavery. Texas exists because Mexico told America you can't bring enslaved people into Mexico. So we fought for that part of Mexico so we could have enslaved people. By the way, the reason they don't want to teach Black history in this country and indigenous history in this country is because if people knew what this country has already done to Black, indigenous people of color throughout history, then they would know what this country is actually capable of doing. To your previous point, Don, the reason nobody on the street believes this is happening, the reason people on the street believes everybody does this and nothing's going to come of it, it's all political theater, is because they don't believe that this country is capable of the things that this country has already done. They don't teach people about it.
Yep.
Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.